Hello, morning.
So it's been a while, quite a long time actually. It's been the summer. We've had a hell of a heat wave. That's basically made me feel really tired and doing nothing. My mum has been great. She did have a scare with her cornea, and it's gone more clouded than we thought was sudden change, but maybe it's not. I think we still have a bit of redness over this side and that side, so maybe I'll still use those cream a little bit more.
We still
Yeah,
have to use
yeah,
it.
a little bit more on there on the lids along there, because there might be a bit of a infection type along. So keep using that a bit more. and but anyway, we're back to the book. We're Thriving at Nature's Pace. We're almost there at the very end. I'm really eager to finish this because it'll be such an achievement to have read it to with Mum. It's a book about a new approach to climate change. It proposes a new currency, Thrive Coins, which you can make by leaving oil and gas and coal in the ground, its barrel equivalent for each Thrive Coin. And of course, with the heat wave, with the storms, I just read about how in Tokyo, about 4 people got killed in a flood. This is in Tokyo, a very developed country. The airport, Narita Airport, not Narita, the other one, was shut because everything got flooded. Just think about that. This is a country that had prepared by actually doing experiments on how bad the rain can get. So it just shows you how surprising it can all be. So, and we've been watering our garden with our cans, no hose pipe, trying to keep the plants, that little drops of water, just to keep them awake and alive. So this is all very difficult along there. We're going to have to find new things. I've been looking up what kind of drought-resistant trees we can grow instead. Mum, can I clean your mouth a bit? Maybe get the cloth. Yeah, good. Okay, so on to the book. We at the chapter on section on transformational ownership. This is how we can actually transform the ownership of the oil, gas, and coal companies. And in fact, it can apply to other companies which basically are so large and have such a strong impact on the sustainability of the whole planet, on everybody, that they shouldn't be owned as investment owners, as investments, but they should be owned in a collective way and by the global citizenry. And that's transformational ownership. And it's in the final chapter, Thriving at Nature's Pace. Get a copy of it, read about it, and tell everyone about it. And this section is about why should business participate. This is about businesses. The ownership comes not by confiscation, but because you basically just buy it from the existing owners. And you do that by swapping the cash flows, which is how you actually buy most businesses. You don't actually come up with the cash today. You swap one future cash flow for another set of future cash flows. And businesses participate within the scheme by being the people who can collect a fraction of the money we spend and use that to build up this new stream of cash flows. Now, why should businesses participate? A good business delivers a clear value proposition to its customers. This business operates within an economy, so this value proposition is a finer expression of the value proposition of the whole economy. The economic value proposition for the emergent economy is nature's pace. For the businesses, this simply becomes making money at nature's pace. It would be naturally synergistic for businesses that share this proposition to participate. There are other reasons also. One is to keep their own activity and investment safe. Climate change is a major cost, and any steps businesses can take to put a lid on climate change will help. The business consultant firm McKinsey calculated that investors and businesses will have to spend $275 trillion by 2050 to prepare for climate change. There are other estimates, and even the lowest estimate is still significantly over $100 trillion. In comparison, the total value of the world's entire investment assets is $150 trillion. That was then about the end of 2025. It will cost investors and businesses twice what the world has to invest to deal with and prepare for climate change. This is an enormous amount of money. It is also risky. The presumption behind the calculations is that the shareholders of the oil, gas, and coal industry will simply throw in the towel and disappear. In other words, it imagines that shareholders will happily walk away with zilch. This is clearly not going to happen. It's clearly not happening now, and it's hard to imagine a scenario where it will ever happen. The existing shareholders of oil, gas, and coal companies will make every effort to improve the value of their own holdings and extract every cent out of their investments. They will do their best to impede any effort to curtail the production horizon of their products. If that is the case, then the hundreds of trillions of dollars spent will likely be wasted. The risks are simply too high for any business to be nonchalant about the future of the oil, gas, and coal industry. What makes a lot more sense is to facilitate efforts to give their customers the power to decide what they want to do. Buying out the oil, gas, and coal industry gives their customers the power. This aligns businesses with their customers. Far from being a cop-out, facilitating transformation ownership is the single most useful thing businesses can do to improve their climate change risk. Even if business owners do not believe in transformational ownership, facilitating it is like offering vegetables on a restaurant's menu. Vegans can choose from them, vegetarians can choose from them, and even those who like a good steak can equally enjoy vegetables. It just gives the restaurant more potential revenues and the customers greater choice. That makes the amount needed to bring transformation ownership into a money-making option for businesses to ensure the money they spend to prepare for climate change is not wasted. What happens to the oil, gas, and coal companies if they are transformed? The transformed companies become keystone businesses for a new economy. In an arched doorway, the keystone sits at the center, giving the whole arch strength. Oil, gas, and coal companies can do this by producing Thrive contracts and connecting the associated oil, gas, and coal with the actual deposits. This makes everything verifiable and tangible. That's what makes economics at nature's pace possible. The companies that do this continue to operate for profit, independent of each other. This is because they have independent access to different oil, gas, and coal deposits. The Thrive contracts specify how much oil, gas, and coal is demanded. These contracts can be bought to supply the oil, gas, and coal for use, as well as to sell to nature for Thrive coins. The companies will share the information on the Thrive contracts they have produced. This transparency is for the benefit of the global citizenry. It benefits them to make the market for Thrive contracts more open. The transformed companies are owned by the same global citizenry, and there is no reason not to be transparent. The sharing naturally becomes a universal roadmap for oil, gas, and coal. There are different aspects to the transparency. The first is transparency provides trust in the roadmap itself. Those who are thinking about oil, gas, and coal will know what the future holds for them, and those who wish to keep oil, gas, and coal in the ground will also know how best to go about it. Clarity on the reserves and the anticipated production schedules lets everyone know what is happening and what to expect. When people take action, they can see how effective their action is. This helps them be more confident about using Thrive contracts. Honest reporting on Thrive contracts and Thrive coins is crucial. Thrive contracts themselves do not advocate for or against the use of oil, gas, and coal. Their function is to facilitate people, businesses, and communities to choose for themselves. Honest reporting allows people to see how much interest there is on both sides. The transformed businesses themselves do not hold positions on climate change. That means that the advocacy for keeping oil, gas, and coal in the ground is firmly in the hands of the climate agenda, and the advocacy for other views is firmly among the groups that hold them. The new Thrive contract businesses allow the outcomes of these positions to be reviewed tangibly through Thrive contracts. This is a different approach to the current situation, where oil, gas, and coal businesses are largely forced into an anti-climate change camp, regardless of how the businesses see themselves. The current approach leaves the world in a void where dissenting views have no place to meet. The roadmap becomes this meeting place. This is how the oil, gas, and coal businesses become the keystone to the new economy. The roadmap is the tangible, quantitative, and natural neutral zone for the climate debate. In the current situation, the oil, gas, and coal businesses provide sources of energy. That position makes them the determinant of how much oil, gas, and coal are used. In this new role, this is removed. The world decides what it wants to do with the oil, gas, and coal, and the transformed oil, gas, and coal businesses, through their unique positions as the producers of Thrive contracts, allow everybody to see what everybody else has chosen. Investigative journalists can analyze the roadmap just as they do with other data sources to report on who is doing what. Scientists can adjust their models using the roadmap. Economists can determine what may happen to different businesses and innovations. All this informs governments on their policies, as it will inform entrepreneurs, businesses, and communities. The roadmap becomes a place where social capital can be built from the interactions from all sides. So, maybe we think we'll pause here. What do you think, Mom? Yeah? We have, this chapter goes on for quite a few more pages, a little bit more. And then another 10 pages, but I don't think we'll try and do that now. So there you go, a little bit more on transformation ownership with my mum, Eleanor. I'm Dr. David Coe, reading from my book, Thriving at Nature's Pace. It's a new approach to climate change. We hope you join us the next time. Subscribe to the whole playlist as a podcast as well, so you can just listen to it on YouTube. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Stay safe. It's very hot today. There you go. Ending that. And I think it